Hi guys, this is Dan with NYCU Later here. Instagram announced that they have a TV platform, so I'm wondering how to repurpose Adobe Premiere projects from landscape into portrait. So I came up with a little method. I don't know if this is a best practice or not, but it seems to work. I've done it with a few different videos, so I thought I would share it with you. First, we have our project here, and I'll just run through it. It's a travel video. Most of it is a drone video that we took in Akaka Falls in Hawaii. So it just follows the waterfall down here, and it's pretty simple. And then at the end, we have a few photos that come in, and I'll show you how to deal with those. A couple of photos, and then we have a logo that is set up for landscape, and so we'll have to repurpose that in Adobe Photoshop. If you come back over here to the beginning, you can see that the title is very landscape too. So what I did was create a red box at 50% transparency. The dimensions are 1080 by 1920, which is the correct dimensions for Instagram TV. And so what I do is I drag that up here onto the top, create a new layer, and then I drag this out over the entire Adobe Premiere project, and then that will show me the proportion for Instagram TV that I need to make sure that all the content fits within this area. So I am going to go to Effects, change the percentage. I'm going to select the red box. Okay, and then so I'm going to click here and then hold down Shift and then back out until it fits proportionally to the screen. Looks like that's perfect. Now everything has to fit inside this red box. I am going to click on this, the title. And so what I did was, over in Assembly, you can see that I already made a, down here in the left corner, I made a new title. Actually, that's not the title. Let me double click over here, and I'm going to add the title, Akaka Falls. So I'm going to import this into the project. I'm going to delete this guy over here that's selected, delete that because that's landscape, and in Photoshop I designed this to be 1080 by 1920, and so I'm just going to put that in. So now it is the correct proportion, so I'll just click on it, go back over to Effects, click on the 100% and scale that back until that fits in there. That, and hit enter, and then I'm going to, so that's fixed, and then the waterfall, luckily enough, recorded right in the middle of the screen, so I don't have to adjust that. So that all looks pretty good. But then I get over here to, I'm going to zoom in a little, get over here to the photos, and the first photo looks like it works. So on every photo I have a little panning action going on. You can see over here that as I scrub through it, you can see that the scale and the position changes. Let's see, this one looks alright, that one looks alright. So go to the next one, select this, okay, that's in the center. This photo right here is not okay. This will not even show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off, yes, the scale and the position, and I'm going to start from scratch on this photo. So what I'm going to do is do a position right here, and then I'm going to select that keyframe and nudge it over. It doesn't matter This area over here doesn't matter because when you export it, we're going to export it at 1080 by 1920, and only the part inside the red box will export. So I'm just going to keep moving this over, and maybe we want this to pan from, I'm just holding down shift and using the up and down arrow key. So maybe we want to start over here like this. So I'll hit enter, and that keyframe, that will lock in that keyframe. And then I'll come over here and do a keyframe where I want, and then select it. Make sure you select it. And then I'm going to shift up and down until I find where I want this photo to end when it's over. So I think that's good right there. So I hit enter, and then I'm just going to preview it by manually scrubbing through, and it just goes from left to right. So I think I'm actually going to, if you hold down shift while you're scrubbing, it will jump to the next keyframe. So I'm going to add a scale keyframe as well. So I'll keep it right there at the beginning, and then I'm going to come over here, hold down shift, and it jumps to this point. So I'm going to add another keyframe and select it, and then go to scale, and I want it to get a little bit bigger. So let's do 140. Okay, and then so I need to adjust it a little bit again because now that I've zoomed in, it's not quite perfect, its alignment. So I'm going to shift up and down till I find exactly where I would like the end position of this photo to be. Okay, enter to set it, and let's scroll over here to the beginning. So alright, that's pretty cool. So I'm going to select these and then drag them to the very beginning, and select these and drag them to the very end. That's what you would do with every photo if you have photos. That one looks pretty okay. That one's pretty okay. Let me see here. So I'll just go through and fix a few more of these. Bamboo should probably start, I'll select this one. The bamboo should start over a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. So I'm just going to test it. Alright, that looks good. And so just going to double check every photo. So I'll go ahead and pause the video and fix a few more photos that don't align, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. Okay, and so now you will see I have, let me check out the duration on this is 4 seconds. I'm going to copy this and hit cancel, and then I'm going to, and I have 2 cross dissolves, so I'm going to delete that, and then I'm going to go over to assembly and bring up New York See You Later. This is a logo that I repurposed in Photoshop to be 1080 by 1920. Okay, let me see here. Go to duration by right clicking. Okay, go back to video transitions. I had some cross dissolves on it. Oh yes, and I had a scale on it, so I'm gonna bring this back to about 30 and hit enter, and then I'm going to go over here and make a scale keyframe, and then I want that to scale out much bigger. Let's select it, scale, tab up so this goes out of screen. Alright, let's test that. Perfect. Okay. Oh, and because this is Instagram TV, we do not need check out our other videos. So I will just come over here, hold down Shift, and it will snap to the end of this, and then I can hit O for out, which will make that the out point. And just to tidy up the files a little bit, I'm going to drag over the red box. These black boxes are just to add a little, to make it get a little darker toward the end when the logo comes in. Okay. And then this movie I am going to crop as well. This movie is drone footage pulling up. And because I don't want to fully delete it, I'm just going to move it over here. In case I need it, it'll be there. Okay, and then the audio, I'm going to crop the audio. And same thing, I'm going to grab this and move it over here just in case I ever need it in my workspace. And then I'm going to go to audio effects. Audio effects. Not that one. Audio transitions, crossfade. And I'm going to add a crossfade in here so that the movie will fade out, and I'm going to give it, hold down Shift and press up, and that'll give it a longer, I want even more than that, we'll give it a longer, fade out. Let me see here, see how this works. Okay, and I noticed one thing, the watermark that we have over the whole movie is set up for the bottom left corner to be a little, so it's less obtrusive. And so what I need to do is the same thing. I don't need to add keyframes because it is not going to be moving. So what I'll do is I'll just position this over here. I'm just holding down Shift and hitting up as we did before. So I'm just going to position this right there is perfect, and it's a little bit big for Instagram TV, so I'm going to hold down Shift and bring that in, and of course now I just have to adjust the position again because we changed the scale. Okay, perfect. So now I'm just going to quickly scrub through. Here's a little cover image that I made for the video. And let's save it real quick. So this will show up for the tutorial, but the travel video that I was working on starts here. I'm just going to zoom in and make sure that this is the same duration as the others. I'm going to zoom out. Okay, so let's just run through it really quickly. I want to see the whole project. Okay. So it starts with the logo, and the logo fits within the red box. And then as we're scrolling, the watermark comes in the bottom left corner, and that fits. Okay. And then we get to the photos and have a little crossfade into the photos. That works, that works, that works. Works. The drone footage out works because it's right in the center. Okay. And then the logo fades with a big scale. Okay, so that's the whole movie. So just save it one more time. So what we're going to do is go to export. So command, oh wait, first we need to hide the red box because we don't need that in the movie. And so now what I'm going to do is hit Command M for export. And I am going to rename it, paste the title in there, hit save. And then what I'm going to do is to unclick for the video proportions. I'm going to unclick that, and then I'm going to change this to 1080 by 1920. Okay, and hit tab to set that. And you'll notice it doesn't look quite right over here, so you have to change scale to fill, and then it will be right. And so now you can scrub through your movie and just make sure before you spend that time rendering it. Okay, scrub through. It looks good. It's ready for Instagram TV. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to hit Q, and that will come over. It'll pop up here, and then you can hit play to start the rendering. And that will take place. And that is the end of the tutorial. Thank you. I will have the finished product up and the video. Please subscribe to NYCU Later. It is actually a travel blog, but from time to time we could do things like this. This is the first one, so please let me know what you think in the comments, and please subscribe to our travel blog on YouTube. Thanks for tuning in.